Hi everyone. So we already completed some introduction about push down automata. So once again we briefly remember and we will continue the next topic. So what is a push down automata? Push down automata is nothing but a mission format of the context free grammar. Okay. So we know the Chomsky hierarchy in type 3201. Three regular grammar and a mission format is finite automata. Type 2 is a context free grammar and mission format is push down automata. Why we actually need it? In case the mission want to remember some information, the finite automata is not able to remember the information. So for that reason we need a powerful mission than the finite automata. So that is nothing but FA can remember information, infinite of information. It can remember, it can store. So for that we can add simply a stack to the mission FA. So when it comes to the informal definitions of FA, there are so many definitions. So one simple definition is nothing but so finite automata along with a stack is simply called as a push down automata. So when it comes to the basic structure, so this is the basic structure. Input tape we have, finite state control we have, stack for storing data also is there. Okay, so this is the formal definition. It is consisting 7 tuples. So we know all things. So here some basic terminologies are there in the push down automata. Instantaneous description ID and which is a triplet state input and stack content term style notation. This is the symbol for the term style notation, which means which shows the transactions by you when we use the IDs. So we understand the transition function. So transition function can be defined like this. What it means so transition function defined like this: q1 0 b q2 x. So q1 means a current state. So and 0 means the input string and b means stack variable which is already there in the stack, and then the moving is goes to q2x, which means the next state be transferred from q1, and x is nothing but a value to be pushed into the stack whenever we find 0 b combination. So let's the transition function. Here we have input string 0 and we have a stack variable b. Now we are at a q. So if you see the transition function like this: a triplet, a state and input variable and next input value, and the next one stack variable which is already there in the stack. If you see that, what will happen, we can transform the transition to q2, the new state, and x means the new variable to be pushed. So a should be popped and x should be pushed into the stack. So that is defined here. Okay, we find 0 and b, those are in the q1 state, and we transform it to q2 state. So there we can push the x into the stack and we can pop the b, that is a b is replaced by x. Like that we understand the transition functions many. Okay, so the graphical notation for PDA is defined like this. It is also like a same FA. So here we have a one input. Here there is a transition function like this: a comma b to c, which means a is a input, part of a input, and b is a variable from the stack, and c is a variable to be pushed into the stack. B should be popped and c should be pushed into the stack. Okay, so this is a very important. If you find anywhere a comma b to c, which means a is a part of a input, b is nothing but stack variable which is already in the stack, that should be popped first, and c means the variable should be pushed into the stack after popping the b. Okay, so this is the main concept here. So input symbol, pop symbol, and push symbol, you have to remember this. And this can also be represented like this: a comma b and forward slash c. Okay, so arrow can be replaced with a forward slash also. So sometimes we find a lambda or a epsilon. Lambda, epsilon, cap are similar to each other. That is nothing but to represent a null string. So if you find lambda in the transition a comma b to c, that is actually we know, okay, till now. So now in place of a b we have a lambda. What it mean is nothing but, so we don't pop anything, okay. So basically if you have find a b here, you pop b and you can push c like this. But if you find lambda, epsilon or anything here, so you don't pop anything, but you can push c here, okay. In the same way, if you find lambda in place of c like this, so you can pop the b, but you cannot push anything here, okay. So it is a very important. What it means a is a part of input, b is a already existed stack variable, and this even is we need to push into the stack variable. If you find anywhere here lambda means we do nothing, okay. So this is a very important. Here we have to till now we know we already completed. Now we can go with the examples on PDA. So design a PDA to accept this language 0 power n, 1 power n, where n greater than or equal to 1. Okay. So to construct a PDA we have to consider three things. One is a states, and the second one is the stack symbols, and the third one is the transition. So this is nothing but a triplet part of, and it is nothing but ID, instantaneous description. So the state, so always you should remember whether it is a FA or a PDA, whatever may be the mission, it is the number of states is actually based on the number of input. It means a number of input, not a number of input. Input alphabet, symbols in the input alphabet, sigma is the input alphabet, right, input set. So in that how many inputs are there, symbols are there. If you take sigma to this language, 0 comma 1 are the two input symbols into the input alphabet, right, okay. So that's why we take three states. Why? Because we have a two input symbols 0 comma 1, we took three states, q, p, f. Q is nothing but a starting state, f is nothing but a final state, and as per the language, so it is now we are actually constructing PDA. PDA means it has to remember something, right? So here if you observe the language 0 power n, 1 power n, what it mean? How many number of zeros exist, that many of ones to be constructed. So what is actually happening here? So we have to remember how many zeros we constructed early, and those many number of ones only we constructed. That means so we have to remember the data here. So for that reason stack is required. That is the reason we have a PDA. Okay, so 0, 1, 2 input symbols. So three states we choose. Q, P, F. Q is the initial state, F is a final state. So here what is a P? P is a middle state, which means if you find 1, so we can transform from Q to P. Okay, so that is the states and stack symbols. So initially the stack is empty, but we have to take one initial stack symbol, that is nothing but a Z0. Okay, so here X is a marker used to count the number of zeros seen on the input. Okay, so that is a stack symbol. Z0 we are taking as a input stack symbol. And the next one, transition functions. So these are the transition functions we can see. So if you find zeros and if you find ones, so this is the transition function. Q is a state, and when we find a 0 as the input, we don't change to new state, and we can push a Z. If you have already Z0 into the initially, we don't have anything in the stack. Okay, then later we can push Z0 into the stack, and later on we can put input symbols from the input string. Okay, so then we can perform the push and pop operations. So like that we can construct the transition functions. Okay, so if you find a 0 input and z0 as a stack variable, you can push x z0. If you find a 0 input x on stack variable, you can push xx. Okay, if you find 1 as an input, all we are in the queue only. Till we find 1, we are in the queue state only, initial state. When we find 1 as an input, x on the stack variable, we can do nothing. That is, we cannot push anything into the stack. Here we can push x z0, we can push xx. Here we didn't push anything. We just pop the values from the stack x, but we do nothing. We don't push anything here. Okay, if you find 1 as an input, now we turn the state also from q to p. So try to understand it. It is somewhat difficult. By continuous examples you may understand. So from P to Q we changed. Why? Because we find the input of 1. Okay, so we are at a P state. 1 is the input. On the top we have a x variable, x stack variable. So we do nothing. We just pop x. Okay, so finally we are at a P state and we don't have any input from the input string epsilon. That means the stack of the variable is nothing but a z0. So then we turn to the final state and we can we pop the we push z0 into the stack. Okay, so the graphical representation, the visual representation of the same transition functions is defined like here. So initially we are at a Q state and a stack variable. Initially stack, we don't have anything in the stack, but we can place a z0 into the stack. Okay, so this is the input string. So 0 power n, 1 power n means we take 3 here, 3 zeros, 3 ones are there. So this is the input string, this is the Q initial state and this is the stack variable. Okay, so when we find 0, we can, what we do here in the transition functions, when we find 0 in the input string, z0 in the stack, what we have to do is we have to do push x z0. Okay, so that is we did here, x z0. So pushing x z0 means we push z0 first and we push x next. Okay, and we find 0 as an input. What we have to do is we can push xx. So in the above we have a transition function. 0 is an input, x on the top of the stack, we can push x. Okay, and still we are in the state P only, Q only, right? So and next we find a 0, right? Again we find a 0. So what we do is again we can push x. Okay, so that is about we still continue with the Q state and we find the zeros in the input and we pushing process done like this. Okay, now we are at the 1 input in the input string. Okay, so when we find a 1 input, we should we turn into the state P. From Q to P we transformed and we can pop the x. We didn't push anything into the stack, we just pop x's from the stack. Okay, when we find 1 we just pop. Okay, so here we find nothing, no input is there, so we pop the x, we do nothing. Okay, finally we are transformed to the state F, final state. Once we completed all ones, we transformed into the F state. Okay, the same example. So 0 power n, 1 power n. So we take state. So we take stack symbol x z0 as our first initial symbol and the transition functions we defined. So this is the visual representation of transition functions and we will see the graphical notation. So graphical notation, if it is the transitional function, so graphical notation is defined like this. Q is a state, 0 is the input, z0 is the stack variable which should be popped and q is the state that is transformed from here to here, and this is the thing x z naught should be pushed into the stack. So the transitional function can be represented graphically like this, 0. So this 0 we can place this z naught can be placed this, so arrow, so this x z naught can be placed like this. Okay, so this is a very important understanding the notations. So graphical notation, transitional function can be represented in the graphical notation, and this can also be represented like this, slash, we can use a forward slash. So 0 z naught, of instead of arrow we can use a forward slash x z naught. Okay, this is the PDA graphical notation for the given language. Okay, so initial state, middle state, final state. When we find where whatever the transitions we perform at the q state, we can place them here. So how we can transform from q to p, that can be placed here, and what are the transitions we perform at a p state, we can define here, and how we can transform p to f final state, that can be defined here. So understand, repeating again. So we have to construct a PDA for this one. So for that, what we need states, we need a stack symbol, we need transitions. So state is actually depending on the number of input symbols. 0, 1 are the input symbols. So that's why we are taking n plus 1 states. Okay. So if n number of input symbols exist, n plus 1 states will have. So on the stack symbol, z naught is an initial symbol, like that we can take prerequisite. So next, transition functions we construct. Whenever we find a 0, we can push like this. Whenever we find 1, we transform from q to p, and whenever we completed 1, again we can transform to p to f final state. Okay, so this is the visual representation of transition functions, and this is the graphical notation. This is the final PDA of the given language. Okay, so if you present the same example with the instantaneous description IDs, it is a triplet, we know already. So this is the turnstile notation, so that can be defined like this. So if you define a start to the turnstile notation, that is nothing but a set of transitions involved in the two IDs. Okay, let's take I as a ID, J as a ID. We have a turnstile notation with a star, which means there are more than one moves between I to J, like that we can define. So okay, so using the previous PDA, so for the language we constructed a PDA, right? Now the thing is, we can check whether the PDA accepting the string again. Okay, so how we can define? So this is the thing. Instead of input, we define input string. So q is a state, input string, z naught is the stack variable, turnstile notation, we transform it to q. After consuming zeros, we are pushing x z naught, xx z naught, and xxx z naught. So we completed 0 input symbols. So then we go with the 1. 1 means we have to transform the state from p to q. So like this, we pop the data x can be popped. Okay, whenever we didn't find any input, that is epsilon, so simply is nothing but we can transform it to the final state. Okay, so till we didn't complete accessibility thing. So when we reach a final state, the string is accepted. The same thing is we discussed in the FA. How we can define a string is accepted by the FA. When we reach the final state by traversing the entire string, that simply we can say that the string is accepted by the FA. The same thing is actually happening here. When we reach the final state by traversing the string given in the PDA with the IDs, okay, so then we can say that the string is accepted. Okay, so from Q with a string from Z naught with a turnstile notation, star means many moves we can reach the final state. Okay, without any input, and still we are with the Z naught in the stack. Okay, so that is the string is accepted by the PDA. So then go with the another string. So whether this string is also acceptable or not, we will see. So it's the same procedure we'll see. So P2, so as per requirement, when we left with 1, so how many number of zeros we can we have, how that many number of 1 we have to get. For that reason we can pop the excess, right? So 3 zeros we have, 3 excess we pushed initially, and we have to pop 3 ones, and we can pop 3 x's. Okay, so we pop every x, but we left over with a 1 here. Okay, so this 1 is a part of input string, that means 4 ones we have, right? So we reached a final state, but still we have a input string. So that is the string is not accepted by the PDA. Why? Because the string is not completely consumed. Okay, hope you understand.